page, right? And let's see. So this way. Okay, waiting for the page to upload. All right, so my name is Jehan Mohamed, and I am the Success Coach for Business in STEM. And with me here is my colleague Nicole Callion, the Success Coach for the Health Profession Division. And we're trying to basically go over the basic skills and as far as Blackboard, right? So the first thing would be going to the main page, Mercer portal. So you would go to mccc.edu and then you will click on My Mercer. And in doing that, you're supposedly being redirected to your sign in. And we usually recommend, apologize, we usually recommend browsers like Chrome, Firefox, or Opera. They're compatible with our like Blackboard tools and Collaborate and what else that we use, student planning and everything we use here, right? And then you sign into your portal, and you would use, before I move from that page, you would use first for students. Oops, we already signed in. We'll go back. The sign-in is basically first dot last, the student's first name dot last name, and then the password would be your date of birth, month, day, and the last 2 digits of the year of birth. If the student encounters any difficulty trying to sign in, so you click on the need help, and it should provide you with email address or the phone number to contact. Or you can basically email IT, and I believe if you still need help, then after viewing, it will take you through what to do. And if not, then you will call or email the Tech Help, the IT help desk, right? So now after you logged into your account, so you will see these icons on your portal page. And some of the icons are like the email icon, your student self-service, where you pay for your classes, you have access to student planning, and now self-service is the schedule appointments to meet with your advisors, or you pay for your classes, right? And then you have access also to student planning or financial aid, and you have access to Blackboard, you have access to the success coaches, you have access to, I think, the Learning Center, also Success Tube, Success Videos, the lingos, right? And we'll talk about that later. And the library. And I want to also do tutoring, I believe, scholarships. You have a lot of information available to you, and you can take your time learning about these tiles and what they offer you. And then on the right-hand side, you see that box. You will see basically My Classes, right? And under My Classes, all the courses that the student is enrolled for this semester. So let's click, for example, on one of these courses. I apologize, I have cold, so. So first page you come to is the page of the announcement page, right? You have on the right-hand side tabs. Of course, you confirm that this is your account. And on the right-hand side, you have these 2 tabs. You have institution and you have course. So course announcement is basically the announcement coming from your instructor as far as the specific course. So if you're taking math, then that math, let's say 125, for example. So these announcement, the instructor of math 125 will be making some announcement that will come to you via email, but also if you go back to, I think I'm talking too fast. If you go back to Blackboard, you read this announcement and have access to it. You also have access to institution announcement, like Mercer Online, for example. If there is an update as far as, here we have an update as far as Ally, which is your accessibility, your ability to access the information available to you and support your need as far as if you have vision impairment, if you need to read, you need a different platform or a style of reading, or you need to download the information. in a specific way to be able to see it or read it or visualize it, or not visualize it. If you, yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, we have a lot of information here as far as Ally, but it's an accessibility platform or tool. So for people with disabilities, as far as learning disabilities, specific type of learning disability. So, okay, going back now to announcement. So this menu on the left-hand side is, you can access the menu or you can make it disappear. If you have difficulties accessing it, then you hover over the left-hand side and try to find that arrow so you're able to make it either visible or make it disappear. So again, we address the announcement, whether it's a course announcement or an institutional announcement. And then the syllabus. Students have access to their syllabus, and they can, if you click on your syllabus content, you should be able to download it and save it to your computer. And you should also, so for example, this is the syllabus for this class, right? And let's see, go back. And again, the idea of alternative format to be able to see your or access your material, right? It can be read for you. It can be downloaded in a different platform, so you're able to access it. Course info, after that, is where basically all the information about your course material. Again, you have the access. You have access to your course syllabus. You have access to instructor information, so you would have the name and email number, email address and phone number, office location, maybe a little bit of introduction about your instructor. And then if there is a discussion form required for activity required for your class, then you will have access to your discussion board or forum, and a prompt that tells you exactly what you need to do. We'll go over everything first, and then we'll open the discussion forum. So you have access to a specific link. This is the breakdown of the course structure. So the course is divided into different elements. So we'll go over everything required for the course. So if you're required to work on your discussion board or submit some posts on Blackboard, then it will be the prompt will be listed under discussion forum. You have access also to certain specific links if there are articles to read or certain activities to work on, quizzes and exams. Also, you have access to. Honor Lock is a form of proctoring tool. So if you're required to take like a midterm or final exam or high-stake tests, and the professor chooses to use Honor Lock as a proctoring tool, then you'll have access to the proctoring tool or Honor Lock, and you will have, when you click on it, you have access to certain videos that will introduce the tool to you, how to utilize it. And that's only if your instructor uses it as a proctoring tool. If not, then you would not be required to learn about it or utilize it. Student resources. So you have access to information about Blackboard, and will access also student resources as far as, so you have here access to, for example, Mercer Online or Tutoring Center, information about how to email or what type of service available. We'll go back to course info. And you can go back using the breadcrumbs, or you can go back using the menu on the left. So for discussion forum, for example, let's utilize or learn about all these parts of the course info or the course structure. So you'll have access to course forum if it's part of your course, if the instructor chooses to utilize that learning activity, that type of learning activity. So you can access your peer. If you click on the assignment, you can open it, right? That's what we did. Still, supposedly, okay. It's not opening. I don't know why. Okay, it opened. So You click on it, you open it, you'll read what your peer wrote. So maybe you have an article to read, and then, and this very relevant to English and maybe humanities courses and social science classes. So you have an assignment, an article to read, a textbook, a chapter of your textbook to read and then reflect on. And each student is required to post your opinion or perspective on your reading material, and then you respond to 2 of your peers' reflection. So you will access the assignment and read your peer reflection, right? And then you can reply to the reflection. So that's an interactive and engaging assignment, right? And then you would write the title of the assignment if you need to title it, and then you write in the body what you need to write, your reflection. You can also choose to work on the assignment outside in a Google Doc, for example, and then save your assignment, and then later on browse your computer, right? Click on browse computer, and then select your paper, let's say interview protocol, and then you open it, and that will upload, right, the your document or your paper to your course forum or discussion forum, and then you would choose submit. Okay, I'm not going to submit here, but that's what you would do, right? All right, so here's, okay. What if you decided to, or you were required to start the discussion forum by first posting your opinion and then later on responding to 1 or 2 of your peers, your classmates. So you would create this thread. So we click on the tab by creating this thread, and then we would read the prompt and understand what the instructor wants from us. We title the assignment. You may be required a number of discussion forums throughout the semester. And then in the body, you would write, let's say we're talking about tests or exams, right? How do you feel about taking a test or using honor lock or whatever the topic might be? And then I have worked hard this semester, for example. That's the body of the assignment. And then again, you either write it in the body, and I really don't recommend that you do that. If it's more than 1 paragraph, I would rather that you start your assignment outside of Blackboard, save it. It depends on whatever type of technology you're using. If you're using a Mac computer, for example, it will be Pages. If you're using Google Doc, whatever your preference is, but work on your assignment outside of Blackboard, save it to your computer, and then maybe browse the computer and then select your assignment and then attach it. Or if it's short enough, like a reflection to your peer, 1 paragraph or so, then maybe you can do that in Blackboard. And then of course you submit your assignment. Okay, so going back to course info again. We'll scroll down to an important link. Course links are really part of the course structure, and it's what here we have access to Mercer College website, we have access to Mercer Online or Facebook, we have access to the library, bookstore, but also it can be structured in a way where if your instructor wants you to access specific material or specific websites or links. Going to quizzes or tests. So again, when you click on the tab, it will direct you to a different page. Here we have the prompt and instruction as far as the test, all the information. So for example, this test will force completion, meaning when you start the test or the exam, you must complete it in 1 sitting. And if you get up and step away from the course or the test, or you get busy with something else after a specific period of time, the course will basically, your answer will be saved and submitted, right? And again, the instruction here will provide you with the information as far as the due date, the time that the test will become available to you. And the prompt should explain what is exactly expected from you to do. And once you click on begin the test, once you read and understand what you're supposed to do. So you'll have access to more information, and then you'll have access to your questions. So you'll start reading your question and answering your question, and you will notice that when you start answering your question, that the tool will save your answer right away, right? And again, as you are working on answering your question, the answer will be saved, or your work will be saved. Let's say we finish the test and we submit. So there will be a pop-up box or a screen that tells you either confirm or cancel submission. And in that case, I have here a reminder that I missed question number 3. I did not answer one of the questions. So it's asking me, should I submit anyway, or should I just go back and answer the question? So of course, I'll click cancel and maybe answer the question and then choose to submit my test, right? And then you get that report at the end after submitting your test or exam that you submitted, how long was it took, and if your assignment was late or your test was late, and maybe also your grade if it's right away graded, right? So going back to course info, and we already talked about honor log and resources available for students. That's also an important thing to learn about. It basically talks about all the tools and resources available to you at Mercer, which is, it teaches you a little about the academic policies, about the Center for Inclusion and Transition. If you need some type of accommodation, if you have any type of learning disability, and this is the office that you want to connect with to receive accommodation if you have been receiving it during your high school year. Or even if you want to start it, they'll let you know what to do to start receiving this accommodation. Also, you have access to information about the success coaches, tutoring services, maybe student planning or Blackboard, the help desk. So this is really a good tab to go to, and to be able to access all these links and learn and have access to a number of good information websites. All right. Okay. Course calendar. So when you click on course calendar, that would take you to, of course, the calendar. And the calendar really is populated with the assignment for your class. If the assignment has a due date, then you will see the assignment on your calendar, right? If you downloaded the Blackboard app, then on your phone, the calendar and the due date for the assignment will come to you as a reminder, right? This is a very nice tool, and you can also add to that calendar your personal calendar, and even away from your class, you can sync in your personal calendar, a reminder of all other classes as well, right? So we go back to lessons, and lessons are structured by maybe the course could be structured by lesson, by chapter, by week, by module. It depends on how the instructor is basically structured the course, right? So let's go to, for example, module 1 or module 1, right? And then again, it's divided according to whatever material that you'll be working on, and it will educate you basically about what's required from you to satisfy or to study that content. Like learning objectives, you'll learn about your learning objective. You'll learn about also information available to you, video or YouTube videos that you're supposed to watch and reflect on if it's part of your learning material. What else? Click on here. Okay. Computer slow, so it's not responding. But here is how you basically go over how your lessons are divided or structured, and every lesson or every week you have to go and check what you're supposed to do, and still slow for this week to satisfy learning requirement for that week or that lecture, right? And then we'll go back to discussions, and I think we talked about discussion forums already. I apologize, computer, the internet signal is very slow, so it takes time to upload.
Jehan, can you go over an assignment?
Yes, yes, sure. Thank you, Nicole. So, so discussion board. So we talked about discussion board before, your submission versus your other peers' submission, and how to open the discussion board and maybe learn about what's there. And I want to see also, I want to show you how when the assignment gets graded, right? So here your peer reply, and you, for example, you decide to reply and say, I like or I do not like, or maybe I agree with your reflection for whatever, for example, whatever it is that you want to say, right? And then submit. And let's see if I want to see if the fail to save edit. Okay, let's see. We have a title, we have a body, but it's failing to save stuff. Maybe we'll choose a document to upload as an assignment, see if it would work to submit it. Hopefully it will.
Sometimes it will just circle like that and you just kind of have to wait.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to get to the grade part, so to help the students see where can I basically learn that the assignment was graded or not, right? Should I cancel so we can speed it up a little bit? They get the idea, right? Let's go back. So we click on the assignment and maybe grading information to see. Okay, so now you have access to your assignment. Did you reply or not? And apparently here we have access to the reply, right? And then if the assignment was graded, you'll see here that it was graded. And if there's any comment that the instructor wrote as far as your assignment, you'll have access to these comments. And of course the grade, right? And to create an assignment also, let's go back to listen. Oh no, let's go back to course on info. Create a thread. Bear with me for a second, I'm trying to get to the assessment page. I thought it's part of course info to get the assessment. Okay, so we cover quizzes. All right, I'll get back to that, but let me go over email and grades, and then I'll get back to how to create the assignment. So as far as email, so again, when you go to the menu and click on send an email or send email, you have access to send email to all users, meaning your instructor, if there is a TA in the classroom, and all your peers. Or if you were divided for the purpose of one of the activities or a group project into groups, you have access to your groups if you decide to email only your group, not the whole class or your teacher, or of course you have access to emailing your instructor. So for example, here is, we have group dude 1 and dude 2. So you would title however your email want it to be, whatever name or title, and then in the body you would type your message to your group, and then you go at the very bottom. If you have an attachment attached to your email, you choose to do that attach file. You choose from your computer. Again, if you click on choose file, it will search in your computer, and then you will be able to do that, and then you submit your. You have to have a subject, of course. So that would be how to email either your instructor or your peers. As far as my grades, if you want to check on your grades, you click on my grades and you have access to all your grades. You have access to only graded activities, the upcoming activities that will still that do soon and will be graded soon, and what you submitted as far as your assignments. For example, we worked on the quiz, and you will see that there is sometimes specific icons next to these columns, and if you hover over the icon, it will tell you exactly what it means. Like this needs grading, so you submitted the activity, but it hasn't been did not grade yet, but you did not receive grade for it yet. It has not been corrected or graded. So what else do we need to cover? We need to go back to, I think, assessment, right? I'm trying to get back to assessment, course info. And go to discussion forum. So we talked about how to create a thread, but you also have the ability to not only create a thread, but you have the ability also to add
Original post.
right, the original post, but I'm looking for how to update, to upload like YouTube videos or other tools or resources if it's part of your project or your assignment. For whatever reason, it's not, I don't see it.
Should be under lessons.
I tried lessons. I don't know why I don't see it.
And then scroll down, keep scrolling.
That's
assignment in there. Oh.
That's it. So let's see module.
Oh, click on module 1.
Yeah, module 1.
Yeah.
Module 2 is empty, huh? So go back to lesson. Okay, so we talked about learning objective and module 1 quiz, right?
Mm-hmm. And then there's the Dropbox down there. Use what you've learned.
Here's what, oh, here, okay. Right, so that's the report, the reflection, that's the test, and quiz 1, and right, we talked about how to take the quiz and how to make sure that you read the data and you're familiar with the prompt and the due date and everything, and forcing submission, right? I'm trying to get this to, again, these are all reports, right? It tells you, so here's assignment, upload assignment, how to upload the assignment. Here's the information, again, the prompt, and possible points or grades for your assignments, due dates, all the information you need. And then this is basically the prompt, and you need to follow the direction and understand what's required from you. You can just submit, maybe you're required to submit a paper, write an essay, or maybe work on a project, and you need to support your project or design your project by adding videos or other elements to your work. So you would basically write submission. My recommendation is to write your paper outside in Blackboard again, and then you basically browse the computer and look for your paper and your homework, and then submit and attach to your assignment, and then you agree to submit my paper, right? And the plagiarism tool, which is Safe Assign, it takes your paper and compare it or scan it against other papers that have been written about the same topic to make sure that your ideas are original and they haven't been taken from any other platform or any other paper, right? And then you would write your comments in the body, and you write your work or how you structure, or if you have to have any type of reflection on the project, how you structure it. And then of course you will submit your paper or your assignment. So I think we cover most of what's available to you on Blackboard, but we still have to go to tools areas. So you have access to a number of tools and resources available to you as a Mercer student. We talked about announcement. We did not talk about Blackboard Collaborate. And Blackboard, if you click on it, it will lead to a different page with the student handbook, and maybe a number of videos to watch to be able to get yourself to become familiar with Collaborate. And Collaborate is a conferencing tool and a lecture tool that that's being utilized instead of Zoom, basically in the classroom, so you can attend lecture or listen to your professor sharing their whiteboard and explaining the lesson, or maybe some recording that is basically meant to be to educate you about the content of your lecture. Go back to tools area, and in addition to that, you have access to Blackboard information. You have access to your calendar. What else? Discussion board, also you can access it here. I believe you have access to Zoom meetings if this is something that's utilized. Emails also, right? And then resources for students would be, again, the academic policies. Blackboard, if you need help with Blackboard, you would basically contact Mercer Online. You have access to the email as well as their phone number and location. You have access, if you're encountering difficulties as far as utilizing technology, you will basically call the IT help desk. You have access to the phone number as well as the email address. Coaching, success coaches, you have access to their email address and their phone number as well. Same thing as far as student planning and as far as the tutoring services. And your academic calendar. Academic calendar is important because it has to do with your withdrawal due date, the add and drop period, and this is very relevant to you if you happen to be a financial aid recipient, or to your grades, right? A W, or if you struggling in the class and you feel like you might not be able to successfully pass, then maybe it's worth it to consider the due date for withdrawing from your course, right? Or registration due dates, right? So I think that's it. And then maybe extra links as far as help if you have questions about Blackboard, if you want to learn about any aspect of Blackboards, you can access the help tab, and you should be able to have more information. So I think that's it for Blackboard. We covered most of it. Of course, after you're done with your class, whether you are in the library, hopefully when things get better, in the library, on campus, the computer lab, after accessing your information, you always want to log out of your Blackboard, right? To make sure the, I ended the session, right? Is that what I did? So you log out of your Blackboard and you log out of Mercer account. Oh, yeah, right, I think, okay. So anyway, so that's what you want to do. So here, we're here. And you log out of Mercer as well to secure your information. So I think that's all about Blackboard. Again, browsers, preferred browsers are either Chrome, Google Chrome, Firefox, or Opera. Nicole, did I forget anything? Is there anything you want to add?
Nope, I'm just typing up everything you're saying. If you are having problems with Blackboard after using this tutorial and using some of the Blackboard help links, you can always reach out to a success coach and we can help you also. at successcoach@mccc.edu. If you're having problems with Blackboard itself, you're going to reach out to Mercer Online at mccc.edu. But if you're having problems getting into your portal or having tech problems that have more to do with your computer, you're going to reach out to the IT help desk, and they are tech-help@mccc.edu.
And sometimes it's worth it to just, if you're struggling with Chrome, maybe try Firefox and clear your browser and sign in and see if it works for you. Refresh the page. Sometimes just shut down your computer completely and then start again and try. And sometimes it helps. Any announcement on Blackboard comes to you as an email. So if you want to go back to Blackboard and read the announcement and maybe go back and check your syllabus if there's an update of an activity, or if something has been added, the teacher or the instructor added a new activity or modified the activity or extended the due date, or so you want to go back and read the announcement. And if you have any questions, you want to email your instructor and make sure that you understand what the new update is. And if there is anything that you want clarification on, then the best way would be emailing your instructor.
Also check your student email daily, especially with so many changes happening hourly right now with COVID. So check your student email daily for important updates.
And if you're encountering any difficulties, it might be helpful to, again, if it's content-based, if you something in Blackboard that has to do with your course content and it's not clear, then recommendation is right away to go to your instructor. If it is, you need help as far as maneuvering the website, then Mercer Online can assist you with Blackboard back and forth, or your success coaches also. You can reach out to us, and if there's something that we can help with, we'll definitely get back to you explaining what needs to be explained. We're assisting you in any way we can. If it's technical, like Nicole mentioned, then it will be IT. And yeah, so that I think that's it, right? If you are struggling with Blackboard, but you have an assignment due like tonight or soon, I would recommend, again, saving it as a document, and then attach the document to an email and send it to your instructor explaining that you're encountering difficulties logging in or accessing Blackboard or whatever the case might be. But the submission shows that you're putting efforts and you're doing what you're supposed to do, and the struggle is technical. It's not you did not do the work. So I think that's it, unless we have questions, or I believe we covered anything. Nicole and Tricia, anything that we need to add to the tutorial, anything that we did not cover that might be helpful?
Just to let you know, counseling is still available. Our counselors are still available virtually. So we will put their names and their email addresses in the chat for you. In case you want someone to speak with, they're here.
Right, I apologize, yes. Yeah. So all departments are still functioning. So we have our counselors, we have our EOF team, we have the advisor for New Jersey Star, for honor students, student life and leadership still available, and they answer information. Enrollment service is still available, and they answer emails, respond to emails, and answer questions. So all your instructors available to you via email, right? Faculty advisor also, if you have to consult with your faculty advisor, then please email, and they'll get back to you as soon as they can. So the college is still functioning. So just put the effort to email, and I will get back to you as soon as we can.
Take care, everyone.
You too, Tricia. Thank you for the opportunity to assist our students.